Welcome, residential staff. If you're an RA or a coordinator gearing up for the absolute whirlwind that is move-in day, you are in exactly the right place. Consider this explainer your ultimate cheat code. We are going to break down the systems, the troubleshooting, and the strict protocols you need to confidently handle the chaos of move-in day. By the end of this, you'll be navigating the complexities of campus access like an absolute pro, making sure your residents have a super smooth transition into their new homes. Let's get started.
So here is our roadmap for today. We're looking at 4 main logistical pillars. First, mastering BearCard Mobile. Second, navigating meal plans. Third, automated door access. And finally, keys and temp cards.
Let's dive right into Section 1, Mastering BearCard Mobile.
Okay, first things first. Physical IDs? Yeah, they are officially a thing of the past. All UCA photo IDs live on mobile phones now. To get this set up, students absolutely have to download 2 essential apps, Transact e-accounts and Duo. But wait, before they can even add that shiny new BearCard to their digital wallet, they have to get their photo approved. So, if a student is standing in front of you confused about why their digital wallet is completely empty, asking if their photo has been approved is literally your very first troubleshooting step. Now, actually using that digital card, it totally depends on their hardware. Tapping it correctly is key. If a student rocks an Apple device, they need to tap the top of their phone, right up by the camera. But if they're on an Android device, the NFC chip is actually spread across the whole back of the phone. So if a student complains their phone isn't scaring, just check what kind of device they have and have them adjust their tapping technique.
All right, picture this. It's 2 a.m., a student is locked out, and their phone is completely dead. As a residential staff member, you are definitely going to face this panic at some point. What happens next depends entirely on their device. For Apple users, there's actually a built-in grace period. The BearCard Mobile will still work for up to 5 hours, even on a dead battery. It's a lifesaver. Android users, though, they face a bit more unpredictability. It might work or it might not. It totally depends on the specific phone type. Just keep this in the back of your mind when you're assessing an after-hours lockout.
Let's talk about another incredibly common scenario. A student taps their phone at a dining hall or a door, a big green checkmark pops up on the screen, but nothing happens. They're going to look at you and say, "But I got the green checkmark, it worked." So does that checkmark actually mean the transaction was a success?
Nope, not at all. This is a massive myth that you need to be fully prepared to bust. That green checkmark, it literally just means the BearCard was successfully read by the scanner. That's it. It does not mean the transaction actually went through the system. Knowing this little fact is going to save you so many headaches when a student insists the system is broken because they saw green. It just means the hardware talked, not that the software approved the access or the payment.
Moving right along to Section 2, Navigating Meal Plans.
Food is a big deal. Once a student can get into their building, their very next question is usually going to be about eating. And as staff, you need to be the absolute source of truth for dining dates, because these systems are bound by incredibly strict timelines.
Let's walk through the dining life cycle for the semester. Meal plans officially kick off on August 16th, starting with brunch. That also happens to be freshman move-in day. Now, what does this mean for you? If you have students arriving early, their meal plans won't work yet. They have to figure out alternative food arrangements. Once they do have their plan, they only have until August 21st at exactly 4 p.m. to make any changes. And finally, the whole thing shuts off on December 11th after dinner. Meal plans absolutely do not cover winter break.
Now, students are going to throw around a lot of dining jargon, and you need to know exactly what they mean so you can help them out. Like, what exactly are blocks? Well, blocks, sometimes just called meals, are cash equivalent meals. And the golden rule for blocks that you need to remind your residents about is that they do not roll from semester to semester. It is a very strict use it or lose it situation.
And this brings us to the classic confusion between blocks and dining dollars. While blocks expire at the end of the semester, dining dollars, usually just called DD, actually do roll over from semester to semester. They only fully forfeit after summer too. But keep in mind, DD are non-refundable, non-transferable, and they can't even be added until the student's BearCard is active. If a student burns through all their dining dollars and asks you what to do, tell them to add BearBucks instead. BearBucks are tax-free for food locations on campus, so it's definitely the smartest financial move once DD runs out.
All right, Section 3, Automated Door Access.
So, for a student's mobile BearCard to actually unlock a door, 2 things have to happen. First, the card has to be in their wallet, like we talked about earlier. But second, and this is your time to shine, the student must be officially checked in and marked in room in StarRes.
Those digital locks will absolutely not budge until StarRez gives the green light. So you check them into StarRez, they walk up to their room, they tap their phone, and nothing happens. Cue the panic. You're going to hear this question constantly. I'm checked in, why isn't my door opening? Here is your clear-cut, authoritative answer for them. Door access is automated, but it is not instant. There is a mandatory delay. The student should have door access about an hour and a half after being checked into StarRez. So before you even think about escalating the issue by contacting LockShop or the BearCard office, you must always verify their booking status in StarRez and confirm that 90 minutes have actually passed.
And speaking of LockShop coordinators, listen up. This one is specifically for you. During the absolute frenzy of room changes, there is a very strict protocol. All room changes need to be added to the Door Access Changes Google Sheet. Do not, and I can't emphasize this enough, do not send direct email requests for door access to LockShop. Following the proper channel prevents the system from getting completely overwhelmed and makes sure everyone gets access exactly when they need it.
Finally, let's jump into Section 4, Keys and Temp Cards.
Even with all this amazing tech, physical keys are still a big part of the picture. And the golden rule here is that the physical action must exactly match the digital record. Handing a student a key equals checking them in on StarRez. Taking a key back equals checking a student out on StarRez. The only exceptions are transitions and room changes. And please remember, only RAs and coordinators have the authority to check keys out to students. Central office staff do not handle this.
Look, we are all human, and move-in day is chaotic. Mistakes happen. If you accidentally forget to check a student in on time, here is the exact protocol to fix it. First, do the check-in immediately. If StarRez hits you with a prompt asking whether to fix or ignore the timing error, always select Fix. Seriously, never ignore it. Then, immediately shoot an email to the central office with the actual date the student arrived so they can correct the back-end record. Fast forward to move out. You have got to be firm with your students about where their keys go. RAs, do not just grab a returned key out of a student's fan in the hallway. And definitely remind them that the central office does not accept keys either. Move-out keys should only go into the designated key return box. This creates a clear, trackable chain of custody, which is absolutely crucial. Let's rapid-fire some guardrails for temp cards and emergencies. First up, temp cards. Each building is allotted exactly 20 temp cards, except for Bernard Hall, which gets 40 because it's separated by gender. Got international students arriving early on Tuesday? They'll need temp cards for 2 days. Any temp card issues at all? Send them straight to the BearCard office. Next, return policies. There is a super strict 48-hour return window for temp cards, excluding weekends. If a student misses that window, you have to charge them using an assessment form. And finally, lock recors. LockShop handles these, but only during business hours. Hosts do not do recors. Instead, they need to call the coordinator on duty to manage the situation. And there you have it. We've covered the digital setup of the BearCard, the strict timelines of dining plans, the mandatory delays for automated doors, and the unbending protocols for physical keys. You are officially armed with the cheat codes to troubleshoot almost any access crisis your residents can throw your way. So take a deep breath, trust your training, and ask yourself, are you ready to get out there and conquer move-in day? Good luck. You are going to do great.